Good morning, Grand Rising. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope everybody had a great Friday night. I'm so sorry again that I did not go live, but I do plan on trying to go live today. But right now, I decided to do a little quick video sharing with you guys some trending news that I found while scrolling. Just so you guys know, my mouth still does hurt, but I feel like I can probably do a good hour, maybe hour and a half live. I'm going to keep swishing with the coconut oil. It seems to irritate my mouth when I swish with it a little bit, and then it goes to feeling okay. So I'm just hoping that it's going to get better because usually when I use that coconut pulling oil, it does the job within 1 to 2 applications. But this time it's different. But I will be calling a dentist to make an appointment. So here we go. The first story, I'm going to let you guys listen to it. This happened yesterday on Friday night in Chicago. So I'm going to play the actual news talking about it. And it's on TikTok, ABC's 7's Studio News. So if you want to look for it yourself, go to TikTok. Or you can just put it in the search box probably on any platform at this point or Google it. So here we go.
Downtown Alderman Brian Hopkins, who has been very vocal, Robin, Cheryl, and Trey, about the need to have new rules of engagement for the Chicago police in terms of how they can deal with youth and how they can deal with large gatherings of youth that happen, as Cheryl, as you say, when the weather gets nice. And it became quite a political story, not just a few months ago. Brian Hopkins, one of the big advocates for allowing the police to have much more flexible rules, ability to declare a riot, declare an unpeaceful situation, and to clear people out. So these numbers that he's talking about are a lot bigger than we had heard earlier before. He's saying 5 people injured, shot, I should say, at least 1 with life-threatening wounds.
And there was always that conversation about the curfew between the mayor and the superintendent and the alderman, and that discussion was a constant discussion, and I'm sure this will become a very much needed topic once again. If he says he saw or he's getting information that 300 young people, and at 9:45 tonight, and I went to Rob's office, I went out into the newsroom, and I said, you guys, something is happening downtown, not sure if it's a teen takeover, and everybody started researching on their phone to see if they had any information, if there was some kind of meetup, because it started to get violent. And then 5 minutes later, that's when the gunshots were fired.
And we saw these teen takeovers over the summer. They dissipated over the fall. Now we want to play an audio clip. None of us have heard this. Ravi, Cheryl, and me have been here with breaking news coverage, but I'm told this is the moment the gunshots rang out. Let's watch and listen. There it was. So we were talking about this, 4 to 5. There it is again.
You know, Ryan is all the way at the north end of the building in the sports department on the 3rd floor. And his office and the sports department is right next to the L tracks. He said he turned at about 9:52. He looked at his producer, Mike Johnson, and said, those, I think, were gunshots.
So it sounded like 4 there, three in a row, and then 1 more. And that distinctive sound. I mean, We have cars come down here, spin out in front of the Chicago Theater, horse around, get moved by police.
Doing donuts.
Doing these stuff. That sound right there that we just different.
And there were fireworks tonight at the Holiday Lights tree lighting ceremony. There were fireworks.
That was not fireworks.
We knew it was a very distinct sound, and Rob just kept saying that there is a difference.
We just looked at each other, right? We're just right outside of our offices, which are very close to each other here on the 3rd floor where I am, and it was obvious, and it was absolutely chilling. And we cover all these kinds of things all around the city all the time in different neighborhoods, different communities, and so on. But when it actually is happening in real time, you get an entirely different feeling about just literally how lethal
So 300 teens downtown at 9:45 at night, like intentionally met up, intentionally causing havoc downtown. And downtown used to be the area in Chicago, because it's lights, it's businesses, people work there, it's restaurants, movie theaters. I mean, so much. It used to be even bigger than it is now today. Back when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, it had even more. And it was always crowded with people, daytime and nighttime. And it used to be the safest place you could go. You weren't worried about nothing happening to you downtown. But now, I remember in 2000 and I'm going to say 7, maybe 6 or 7, I took the girls to the Taste of Chicago and I let them go because they was 16 and 15 and they had a friend with them. And I let them go across the street. I had a hotel room and they called me, said they was walking back. And on the way back, somebody got to either shooting or somebody had a knife or something. It was something. Everybody was running and stuff. I knew then. I said, oh, people not scared of downtown because all the police presence was. So I stopped going. I never went back no more. That could have ended horribly. Y'all check on your kids, y'all. Check on your kids, especially if you got people in Chicago right now since this is going on. I don't understand how parents are even allowing their teens just to be out. Why are the teens out? We know it's not safe. And then we know a lot of mob action be going on and they influence each other. Whether it's one or two and everybody else just following the pack, don't have a mind of their own. I don't know drugs. I don't know what it is. But I don't think nobody under 18 should be out on their own, especially on 9:45 at night. If they ain't been dropped off at the theater with their friends and then you pick them right up, I don't think they should be in no malls, hanging out. They go there for business. You take them, you buy what you're going to buy, come up out of that. Them teens don't know how to act together. Your child might be the sweetest one, quiet, but when they get around certain people, sometimes the kid could change. So, that being said, let's go to the next story. The next story is very interesting as well. And let me put this up. Okay, here we go. Let me put this one up. Okay, y'all see that? Doctor's notes will no longer be accepted to excuse a child's absence. And this was November 19, 2025. So y'all just listen to this one.
Have a child in school? Doctor's notes will no longer be accepted to excuse any absent, whether your child is sick or injured. A Tennessee school district has implemented a new policy for this upcoming school year where doctor's notes will no longer be accepted to excuse an absence. The Lawrence County school system officials say that this new policy will teach students work ethic and reliability, as when they are older and they get a job, they must go to work sick and injured. They say they're also addressing the chronic absentee problem that they had. In 2022-2023 school year, they had a 14% chronic absenteeism rate, where that's 4% higher than the 10% that defines what chronic absenteeism is. This new school policy will mark a child as absent or present. That's it. There will no longer be an option for doctors to verify if a child is absent, if they're sick, if they're injured, and then doctors can also not verify if a child has an illness that is contagious. Children who are sent to school sick or who are sick in school and are sent to the nurse's office, that nurse will be able to determine whether or not your child is sent home. If that nurse sends your child home, that will count as a 1 tardy. 3 tardies equal 1 absent. If you have at least 3 absences, the school will then intervene. If you have 8 absences, then you will have to go to court and deal with the court. Other punishments that they will instill and enforce are a failing grade for a class missed, a failing grade altogether, holding your child back.
That's grade. Insane.
They will not be allowed to walk or attend their graduation. They also, another punishment will be, they will not be allowed to get their driver's permit or their driver's license. Now, they will make an exception for certain deaths in families as well as certain religious observances. Now, of course, many parents objected to this, but this is what the new policy is going to be. They're moving forward with this immediately. Now, will this happen in other states in our country? It could, because chronic absenteeism is a problem and the United States is changing in many ways. What are your thoughts on this? What would you do if this was your child in your child's school district? Me personally, take me to court. If my child's sick, she's staying home. I'm worrying about the health and welfare of my child first. I'll go to court. I'll keep you updated on all of this, of course. Please like, follow, and share so that I can continue. So, what do you guys think? Get in the comments about both those stories. I got one more story, and then I'm going to get up out of here because I don't want to make the video too long. We'll talk about these topics, same topics, and more when I go live. So, the next story is about a young man. He's telling about what's about to happen. Now, I've heard a little bits and pieces yesterday because I wasn't really on social media long. I was here hit and miss. I didn't really like scroll like I normally do. I didn't post like I normally do. But I caught wind of this, not by this guy, but other stories. I kind of like scroll by, listen to it for a second, scroll back. So here we go. This guy goes on to say about what's about to happen in Los Angeles, California area and warning people to come up out of there. So we're going to play his video. Okay, here we go. Let's put his picture up. Say this will be the end of the South Coast. That's what he titled it. Here we go.
To all the people that lives in Los Angeles, feel bad for y'all. Because I know most of y'all is not going to listen to this video. And what I want you guys to know, that you guys probably already been new for a few years now, it's about the San Andreas fault line. We all know the San Andreas fault line is cracking right now. There's a massive earthquakes for the past years on years. These people are saying, if just one more earthquake happens in that area, you will see the entire San Andreas fault line fall into the goddamn water. Now, some of you guys say, oh, well, so what? It falls in the water. Well, if you guys seen the movie San Andreas,
I remember that movie with The Rock.
What can happen? Like, this movies predicts what can happen in our lifetime. It does that. It's the reason why they show you that movie, San Andreas. If an earthquake happens in that area, the whole San Andreas fault line will fall in the goddamn water. The ass is falling in the water. Give it like 2 minutes, 2 minutes max. And you, as a human being, you see that shit fall into the water and all the rocks, big heavy rocks, dust, all that shit fall in the damn water, right? And you see, and you look down into that water, and you see that water get literally pulled into the middle of the ocean, pulled.
Wow.
That's a sign right there for you to get the fuck out of there. Because what can happen is, the biggest tsunami will be created by that San Andreas fault line of all the rocks falling into that water. If I was y'all, get the fuck out of Los Angeles right now. Because that entire Los Angeles and any other state that's on the side of Los Angeles literally will be wiped. Clean, dry. Half of America will be wiped the fuck out by that tsunami if that San Andreas fault line falls into that water.
So y'all get in the comments and tell me if you have heard anything about this. I've been hearing that this was coming. We all been hearing these different stories. Maybe not this one, but about different stories that's been warned about what's to come. And I most definitely have heard this, I'd say within the past maybe 5 years. I've been hearing about it. This and New York as well. And somebody got in the comments and said that, whole California whole thing and New Jersey is connected to that same pipeline. And somebody else got in the comments and said that the Midwest not safe either because allegedly we're on the back of a dragon and is woken up or was waking up, and they're trying to destroy it because if it wakes up, it's going to destroy the whole Midwest. I mean, yeah, a lot of stuff I believe be rumors or stretching the truth or what we would call when it's not like you trying to fearmonger people, stuff like that. But anyway, y'all, these 3 stories I got. Like I said, when we go live later today, Since it's Saturday, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock. But in the meanwhile, I'm gonna try to get my mouth together and relax and chill. And y'all get in the comments and tell me what you think of these stories. Have you heard of these before? Are you concerned about any of them? I mean, they all are concerning. Teens out there wilding out, 5 people shot. Uh, the schools. He's telling y'all, homeschool, get your kids out of there. I think that's what they want anyway. I think the president wants to defund the schools, allegedly. Word on the street. Now, maybe it's fake news. I don't know. But anyway, y'all get in the comments and enjoy your Saturday. Be safe out there. I love y'all. Talk to y'all real soon.
Come on in, like, comment, and subscribe. Watch me rebuild my life, one brick at a time. I'm on this journey, paving a new road from the grind. The ready rocks rebuild. It's time to shine, molding the